Hi everybody, I wanted to give you some tried and true art teacher hacks today. So these are things that I hope that you can implement into your classroom, make your classroom management a lot better. One of them is what's in the box. So I have one of these boxes on each table that my students sit in, and about 6 to 8 students sit around one of the big tables. And I have them color coded, so right now we are at the blue table, but there is an orange and a red and a yellow and a green table, of course. And generally I put a whole bunch of things in the box that I don't want students to have to get up in the middle of class and go find. So the first thing is a stapler, so that way they're not using your stapler. There's one at each table. I also have a ruler and scissors, so that way, again, they don't have to get up to get these things. I have a little mini pencil sharpener in each one, just simple things that I got at the dollar store, and an eraser, so they keeps them in their seat. I also have Post-it notes because we do a lot of projects where I want them to respond to something, so you've got the Post-it notes, and of course they're color-coded. I also have just a little clipboard, and the clipboard sometimes will have handouts on it, enough for everybody, so I've already distributed them. Generally, the elements of art, these little handouts stay on the clipboard at all times, but they're also in the box. And the last thing is a dry erase board. So I got some really cheap dry erase boards at the dollar store, really easy. I never like to spend a lot of money on dry erase boards, but I will tell you, never skimp on the dry erase markers. The cheap dry erase markers really are cheap for a reason. But I love the dry erase board, so that way students can write some things and then they can hold it up and we can have a class discussion. They can also draw on it, do some notes. Early finishers can draw on it, all kinds of things. So don't be afraid to do like a dry erase board in your box. Couple tips when it comes to the dry erase board. Eventually, somebody is going to draw on it with a permanent marker. So those of you that see what I have in my hand, this is the permanent Sharpie, and it has been drawn on the dry erase marker, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's permanent, like it's not coming off. Well, what you need to do is you need to take a dry erase marker, and I want you to go over the same line. See that line? So I just traced it there, and then take a dry erase eraser and then wipe it off. Look at that. Amazing. So this is a way to save your dry erase boards. Do you know that if you get Sharpie or another permanent marker on anything that's laminated, you can also erase it with fingernail polish remover? So another good tip right there for you. Speaking of the dry erase erasers, the dry erase board erasers, I use these, which I also get at the dollar store. This is not a plug for the dollar store, but if we can save money, we can, right? Right, teachers? So these are the face pads, so microfiber face pads. They come 3 in a set in various colors. They're, of course, $1 because it's a dollar store. They make terrific dry erase board erasers. So it's a little hard for me to say, but I love that. So put them all in your box, so one of these sits at each table. A couple other teacher hacks that I wanted to talk about, and that is how to distribute paint. I used to use these big things of paint. See the big things of Dick Blick paint. No matter what, this spout on it always gets clogged. Like, it's ridiculous. At least one side of it gets clogged, and then it's spewing out and it gets on the students' clothes. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. So what I do is I get these little tiny snack containers, and I usually get these from a discount store like Walmart, and then they fit perfectly in an old muffin tin. So over the summer I gathered up a whole bunch of muffin tins, at garage sales and thrift stores and all the places, and then I just put them in here, and it's so easy to already have it done, and then you can just distribute this. I usually do one of these per every 2 kids, so I have 3 of them per table. And it just is a lot more, it's just a lot easier for me to give these things out to students. And if one of your colors gets contaminated, the yellow one always seems to get the most contaminated, then you can just swap it out for another one. So quick and easy. Love the muffin tins. The last one is doggy dishes. Of course, where did I get these? I got them at the dollar store. I love doggy dishes because unlike a bowl, these are designed to not spill over. Like, they're very sturdy, so they're not gonna be tippy-toppy and fall over. And we use them for everything. If you are doing plaster, you can put plaster strips in one of them, or paper strips in one of them, and your plaster in the other one, your paper mache in another one, so that way students can just easily go back and forth. We use them all the time to rinse our brushes. So while they are painting at their seat, instead of getting up between each color, they just rinse their brush, and then I have this sponge. Just a simple sponge. I cut it in half so it would fit down in there. They just have to dab it on the sponge, and then they're ready for their next color. So perfect. I hope some of these hacks helped your classroom, and happy teachering to you all.